trying to brawl again at the same time as last game. It's 13 minutes in, and there's 9 heroes or 8 heroes positioned around this area. They want to go for no-tail, but he's got ulti.
Miracle's going to continue to chase this under the Tier 2, and they will get it. Seb is trying to turn. The missile is out on Akura. Does Seb have the burst? Not quite. Magnetizes out, and Seb has to retreat. Shackle does latch Liquid. They've got the lockdown. They've got the roll for the kickback. They'll crush him. Liquid. They're diving again.
They want top.
They've got a bit of a flavor of how OG was playing in these last 2 games, and they're saying we could do it too. Thompson passed the cooldown. They won't go too crazy. They'll let him live. They don't want to dive up towards the Tier 3. They know TPs are coming in.
They have to make sure they're hitting the tower because the side lanes are being split pushed. Ana as well as HyperX are actually pressuring these other 2 towers. They're not even going to get this one here. It's down into deny range. OG might just be able to deny that mid tower if they choose to do so. Liquid with an overzealous dive there, not losing anybody, but the side lanes giving a lot to that Tiny as well as that IO. And we know the timing, it's all about just waiting for IO to get not only Aghanims, but get that level 15 talent. That's what OG wants.
He's diving in. Onto Kura with the flak as well. Hand of God will not keep Chen alive today.
GH will not get TP'd out. HyperX actually TP's in and gets the toss up at the exact timing.
And OG's actually not done, as they are still hunting for action. Miracle the focus. Thompson's got a DD. A power shot does come out. Lands on Thompson.
A bit too aggressive there, but Thompson will throw down the call down just to clear the
well, the Shackle actually reaches across the trees, but no tail. He's there with a shield. Thompson goes with the TP out. The focus fired and they have the damage. It's not enough. Thompson saved. A spray on the way out. Thompson will escape. Liquid, it's 9-6 in their favor, but the net worth difference, it's pretty much even. As you say, sure, Liquid, they are bringing the aggression, finding the kills, but space is being given to those important members of OG.
Yeah, especially Ana. Halfway to that Aghanims already. Level 11 finished up. He's got the Spirit supplied slow, so he can fight as soon as he has that Aghanims, of course, with the talent, but the big one is that 15, that extra Spirit hero damage that does come out. But yeah, look at this immediately. Seb now positioned up top. He wants to push the top tower as soon as Liquid is positioned in mid. And HyperX already looking to set up down toward the bottom lane. Liquid have to just get these towers. Have to get some type of map advantage here.
Once Xana has the Aghanims, things are going to start getting very tricky for Liquid when they turn up like this.
Yeah.
The spirits will be out.
Yeah, and they have Bristle. That's a good thing, right? Bristle can be good versus the IO. If you can get on top of him, the goo. You don't have the highest armor traditionally on the IO, but he's versus an actual counter. Timbersaw, very good versus Bristle back at all stages.
Are fortified.
It's just that farm game, OG.
We've got mind control. Looking towards Seb up top, but it's hard really for these heroes without the shackle shot. Or GH getting a beautiful angle. It's very hard for them to kill Seb.
It's very hard for them to kill pretty much anybody if they don't have Weehawk. If they can catch some of the supports and running around by themselves, they can maybe pick them up, but they really need Weehawk for the damage. The rest of them do not really provide that at this point in the game versus what they're against. Magnetize can be good, but there's a lot of ways that they can deal with it. Not only with the tankiness of how they are, but also there's an advantage. We just remove it a lot of the times.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And Seb, he could just get away with this, pushing this wave into the Tier 2 every single time, knowing that sure, if Liquid do come for him, it's going to be so many of their resources that it's probably going to be worth it for OG to have Seb positioned that aggressively and for him to draw that much attention towards him. Thompson's getting space, Ana's getting space.
Look at that build by Thompson. Diffusal gyrocopter.
Wait, what?
Diffusal. Gyrocopter, I just said it.
Stretch diffusal gyrocopter. Fancy that, Thompson.
So
doing something that I don't think I've ever seen this.
Kind of. I mean, it's interesting because it's going to provide a lot of mana burn, which is going to be annoying for Liquid. It gives you a lot of agility, and it gives you ways to run around and chase heroes down, I guess.
It's Liquid. Different. They've got the kill squad getting mobile again.
They can transition this into a Roche. DD rune on the bristleback. They've got pipe. Yeah, they can easily do this one with the medallion as well. However, OG, they know what's going on. They can look to contest this as well. As do they have the Aghanims finished up? It's almost there for Ana. And they're pinging it. They seem, now they're aware of it, but it looks like it's almost too low for them to contest with all this minus armor. As Liquid will get away with this one.
And let's see what they can do with it. Aegis Pipe, they have those early tools to start making moves. Start looking towards some of these tier 2 towers.
Ags is complete now on the IO. So Ags IO finished, and we're about to hit 20 minutes. So I'm assuming that OG's gonna buy the tome, give it to that IO so he gets the extra spirit damage. Liquid, they gotta group up and try to get something big here. They gotta catch out these backlines heroes. They really have to get on top of the IO with a nice shackle shot for We Got to focus fire it. They have to control and stun the IO.
Hunting for Anna. I won't quite find, but definitely, yeah, thinking about it, this diffusal blade, I see what you mean. It does make sense, right? There is, you look at what Miracle and Mind Control in particular.
They're completely dependent on their mana.
And they're dependent on the fights being drawn out, right?
Yeah.
They revel in situations where the fight continues. And sure, they can't kill them quickly necessarily, OG, but Thompson, he can burn, he's going to take their mana away, and they're going to be essentially some of these useless, tanky targets on the front that OG can then ignore and look for the more volatile kills.
And he's acting as this like super frontliner. And Bristleback is a hero that if you don't have mana, you don't have damage. So if he's just going to be burning the Bristle, I can see it. You know, I can see it. And he's super farmed, and look how tanky he is. 2,000 HP on the gyro. There's going to be an MKB finish now for Weehaw, so his damage is going to be very high as Seb's getting slowed down. He's got greaves available, but he's getting burst.
I mean, they're bringing him low. He's got the shield. Now they'll be able to turn. Cooldown's dropped down by Thompson. And here we have it. Miracle. His mana's gone. He's able to pop the stick, get it a fair bit of it back, and he's able to head back in, pushing OG back behind the racks. They're getting a good amount of damage onto this tier 3 tower. Liquid, they push on
IO. That spirit hero damage is there now. Ana gonna join the fray finally.
There we have it. Miracle's mana. It's pretty much entirely gone by Thompson's focus. Look for GH. He can't get out. There's no mana. GH. He's dead. And now OG, they have that numbers advantage for this defense. They'll try and change the board. Thompson, looking for Ice, brings Miracle down. There's the shackle turnaround. They're looking for JerAx. JerAx backing away. Thompson focusing Miracle. Miracle's still out of mana because of this diffusion. JerAx, he's able to cover. The GA is out. We hold will fall though. The magic damage is there from Thompson. Miracle's trying to run. Another stick charge pop, but JerAx could shut him off. In fact, JerAx, he's ready to try and look for more potentially. There's only the once. Thompson, he's on top of Kuro. Another cooldown there. The toss back into the combo. JerAx has the control. They're all getting picked apart as Mind Control falls. Miracle is surrounded, and they're all able to get this as well. OG, they will hold.
So far for. And like, I love his Queen of Pain, what he does with the hero, and a lot of the teams when they're playing against HellRaisers, they tend to ban it.
A draft, I believe, coming up. Best of 3 is about to kick off and get underway. It looks like Sani is the one drafting. OG Seb is in the captain's seat.
10 seconds remaining.
Mute co-broadcasters. That mute, there we go.
5 seconds
Started to hear you twice and I got a little bit worried, Lacoste, but we're all good.
Alright, let me just check my settings. Mute co-broadcasters. Yep, done. So, Ember Spirit. Man, I don't know if you're watching a lot of these high-level pubs, but there's Ember Spirit in every single game. A couple of days ago, I opened up 5 top games, the most watched ones, and every single one of them had Ember Spirit. Yeah.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban.
It is. It's just this this hero feels so strong in the meta right now. I love when Ember Spirit is paired up with any kind of hero that has tower damage. Like usually you can like get kills, but sometimes if your safe laner is not providing, of course if Ember is mid in this case, like you need to have someone who can hit the buildings.
Will do. And we're seeing a lot of these really nice support pairings. You know, Keeper of the Lane has been very prominent. Oracle, I love the fact that he's really come back strong into the meta. But also these kind of multiple saving support, like Oracle, Shadow Demon, Kotl gives you the Will-O-Wisp to like reset a fight just out of your ulti. It gives so much more.
Seconds remaining.
Important, right?
It is. I always loved when you have one support. We are not in this meta right now where you have like Legion Commanders, Omni Knights, Abaddons off lane anymore, and then you have like position 4 or 5 who can, you know, have another layer of save, but still having one save in the team just always feels good.
OG's turn to ban.
What do we expect coming up in this first stage for HellRaisers then?
They banned out Leshrac, so at one point they might consider getting like a Slark Phantom Lancer. These are like my guesses, not in the first phase but in the second one. And it's also a tempo controlling hero which has a mixed damage, magical and physical, and puts a lot of pressure on the towers. This is a forgotten hero, Enchantress. I don't think many teams are playing it right now, but teams should not be sleeping on this hero. This hero is still a lane dominator, can be played at multiple roles. Mostly it's going to be 4/5. OG, I know that they run Shaker as position 5 as well, where No Tail just runs around the map, gets Blink Dagger eventually, but it's mostly about the Fishers.
Dire team ban.
Setting things up for them. And Ench, I feel like we're seeing, you know, a lot of this, you know, enchant build, not going for the heal early on. Some people, you know, skipping heal entirely until you're like thing. And you're just picking up creeps, you're running at people, you're taking objectives, diving under towers. HellRaisers responding to the Pango after their Oracle first pick. So potentially here, this could be their 5 and 4, but of course they can flex the Pangolier across multiple roles. As like you're saying, the Enchantress could theoretically be a 3, but very likely in the hands of the 4 or 5.
OG's turn to ban.
They ban out Monkey King. It's OG's probably favorite hero.
Even without Thompson.
Yeah. So far it looks like it's gonna be Earthshaker 4, Enchantress 5. That's just my guess. But definitely already strong lanes with these two heroes. As you mentioned, Pangolier can be played at multiple roles. Mostly it is position 4, but some of the CIS teams, they tend to pick him more as position 3 if the matchup is good. Just give him that farm priority so he gets his items faster.
And I do kind of like the Pango to, it doesn't like counter, but it helps to stop the potential death ball push strat that OG could build up, right? With like Enchantress, Lycan. The Beastmaster is banned first phase by HellRaisers there, so that's obviously an indication that they don't want matching up against that just early 5-man pressure from OG.
And Beastmaster
Warlord taken out
is just an extremely good hero right now. Like some of the heroes received nerfs, but there's some also indirect buffs. Even though Necrobook got nerfed over the like past few patches, it's still an insanely good hero that builds into Necrobook. Helm of the Dominator, you can even skip Helm, just go for Necrobook. I saw Zai having like 13-minute Necrobook, and then you're running around the map getting rid of the vision, you know, just controlling all the areas with the Hawk and your Necro units, and also putting a lot of pressure. You can't just like hit Necro units 13 minutes in.
Oh, it's like 2 games in a row, right? Or is the same series where Zai had like a 13-minute Necro 3, and then Matumbaman had like a 6-minute Necro 1 on Lycan, then he got like a 12-minute Necro 3. They were like racing each other to see how fast they could buy it up. Very quick responses here in the draft as well. Weaver for HellRaisers, Death Prophet coming out after as that Void Spirit. Again, a flexible double pick from OG, Void Spirit and Dragonite, both able to shift across multiple roles. And HellRaisers still not giving away where the Pango's going. Because this could be a 4 Weaver, could be a 4 Pango. You're not quite sure where they're heading just yet. They have even played Death Prophet support, but I think here Maposhka has the Oracle, so it's very unlikely to go that way. So probably the Xani mid DP.
I believe they ran Death Prophet as their offlaner one game as well, so they can still have Pangolier as 4. I mean, all these picks are very versatile besides Oracle. It just says Oracles are position 5, rest, you try to guess.
And then it makes it very difficult for OG to get advantageous lane matchups here as well. Just wondering where Void Spirit's going to be going, because we have seen Sumail play it, and even with the ping disparity, he's been doing an exceptional job on it. Good Knight gives them a nice bit of tower push, so you've got heroes here that can pair up together, right? Earthshaker and Void Spirit can be your kind of kill threat, your assassins once you get in out of the laning stage and into the mid game. Fisher into the jump in from Astral Step. Dragon Knight, Enchantress, your more tower pressure focused heroes. I'm just wondering, laning stage wise,
Dire team.
I don't know if it feels awkward, but it doesn't feel like they've got, you know, that oomph. They don't have that real power in the laning stage, but they've got sustain and they've got stayability in lane. While HellRaisers, they've got so much ways to gap close, jump people, magic nuke damage, and kind of whittle down their opponents.
It's an okay Weaver game. Same goes for Pangolier, even Death Prophet. There was no like real burst there, and also it's a Death Prophet with Oracle, so these Spirit Siphons, if she gets them off, they can't burst her down. Like, Oracle's gonna be there to save Death Prophet.
Yeah, one of the big reasons they banned out Troll, right? The combo with False Promise, Battle Trance, very good. That final ban for HellRaisers, it's so difficult banning against Earthshaker, your 5, your 4, Dragon Knight. You just have no idea where any of these are going. Like, what does OG need? Do they want team fight to go with the Earthshaker? Do they want more push to go with Dragon Knight Enchantress? Honestly, I feel like they just want some, you know, some big punching hero that can do, you know, magic nuke damage, just take down a hero, slay the Death Prophet. Lina always used to come to mind, but I feel like Lina's in a weird place right now.
It is. I'm not a big fan of Lina. You need to snowball with her, then you die once or twice. It just feels like her game is over, and I don't know. Lina... for me, there's always a better hero than Lina. Like, she might dominate some matchups. You can outrange them, but at the end of the day, you're still a squishy hero that if anyone gets on top of you, you just straight up die.
Yeah, like you have to defensive Yules and then you still die anyway.
Dire team.
Especially with no saving heroes here on O. Lycan, there's the ban out, so it does tie in with the whole push around Dragon Knight and Enchantress, and of course a hero that's very well with historically. Razor's time. Your hand a little bit here. It could be Weaver 1, Pango 4, Oracle 5, DP 2, and we're looking for like a Funnic teamfight hero potentially. They go for a bit more catch.
I believe they put either Pango or Death Prophet on the off lane, and looks like it's gonna be Weaver as position 1. They don't have that great catch early on. Okay.
Arc. But it still feels like you're going the right direction. Weaver is going to be the 3, I think. Could be the 4 though. Luna for Sumail.
Interesting.
What are your thoughts on that? Yeah, very interesting, and a very fast snap response to a Slark as well.
Yeah, Luna is not a hero that, you know, counters Slark by any means. Like, what do? You use Lucent Beam on him? But they already know what they were gonna pick. I felt like no matter what they picked, they were just gonna go with Luna anyway. And that's why I liked OG as a team, like their confidence and their innovative style of playing Dota. So
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, go ahead.
Exactly what they wanted.
Okay, Roger.
Discord lagging?
Yeah.
We'll blame that. So
I mean, we can't be lagging both of us in two different countries. It's not our internet.
Void Spirit,
But
DK,
yeah, I mean,
Snail,
Luna can build like different kind of items.
Supports Earthshaker Enchantress is something they love to play. This kind of almost two position 4s where Earthshaker gets a bit more farm priority going into 10 to 20 minutes to get that Blink Dagger. But early on, Enchantress is going to be that pressure hero, making sure that roaming between the lanes with Earthshaker kind of bouncing between offlane and bot. Action happen.
It's a good Slark game to start with. They don't have like a real hero that threatens Slark. There's no like AoE damage that you can throw on the ground. Okay, there's an Earthshaker, Void Spirit, some of the spells, but he's not afraid of those. Like if he's fast enough, he can always get out of Dark Pact. Even if he doesn't,
I guess
there's Oracle sitting behind him.
Yeah, that's true. Like I was going to say, the thing that worries me is maybe Void Spirit Aghanim's Scepter coming out early on, getting that silence.
Oh yeah.
From Resonant Pulse, because you look at the heroes, Weaver, DP, Slark, if they get jumped, silenced, and Oracle isn't in position, I feel like OG can burst down heroes reasonably quickly just because of the natural squishiness here of HellRaisers. Yeah. But of course, that's an item timing that mid one definitely needs to keep in mind. Get ourselves underway. Game 1 of this best of 3. OG taking on HellRaisers. Ourselves into the lane with Saxa on the on the Earthshaker. We've got mid 1 Void Spirit, Sumail, Luna, No-Tail Enchantress, and down bottom, as we see Seb wandering down to bottom lane, Dragon Knight. What do we have on the Dire team? Roger is the Weaver, so it's a 4 Weaver, 3 Pango, Funnick taking up the reins of the Pangolier. Poshka, Oracle, Xana playing DP, and Nyx playing the Slark as OG going into this Dire jungle very early on, forcing Miposhka away from his outpost, and that's 4 heroes making a nice little the forest.
30 seconds.
The popular build on Luna these days is like you get Helm of the Dominator. I'm gonna call it a new aura. We didn't see too much out of Luna. You get base damage bonus and you get base armor bonus. So you get Helm of the Dominator, get extra damage from that. You might get Alpha Wolf. Then you have like triple abilities that increase your team's damage. And this opens up the Roche. You can stack with the Helm of the Dominator for yourself. And it's a very snowbally thing when you have this kind of a Luna. Like you just clear out tier 1, tier 2 towers so easily. You take one fight near the enemy base, tier 3 and Raxus might just fall.
Yeah, and I guess you don't really have to worry too much about keeping Void Spirit or DK alive. Void Spirit, very slippery, you can dodge in and out of team fights reasonably well here. HellRaisers, they've got Gap Close and Reach, but they don't have that much actual catch. They don't have many, stuns or... is that Observer Ward going to die up there? But they don't have many ways to consistently catch the Void Spirit. Slark Pounce if he's invis, maybe with Oracle Fortune's End, but it's a difficult one. So if Luna's the only hero you really have to worry about saving, you can hold your Blink Echo or your Fissure to save Sumail's Luna, and then you've got this tanky DK, the elusive Void Spirit, and you're talking about the damage amp coming out of Luna. When you've got a tanky hero, an elusive hero, and then one core that you can save with an Earthshaker, you've got so much sustain in these team fights with that damage buff on them. I was wondering about the OG Death Ball, and I think Luna is going to be exceptionally strong at grouping up early on and taking big team fights.
Yeah, I think the team fights are gonna last like very long time, in and out. Both of these teams have elusive heroes, hard to kill. There is save on HellRaiser's side with the Oracle. Also, I want to see what item Luna gets as her second item. Like after you get Helm of the Dom. Helm of the Dominic, man. They should rename this.
I kind of miss that from Dota 1, having heroes and stuff named after players. What do we have? We had Yafet's Shadow Fiend. I've forgotten most of them now. Jeez. Need to go back into the history books. There were a couple of them. There were plenty. Like we're back underway. Game once more. So top lane, No-Tail A bit of a beating from the Oracle as the lanes all swap around. Oracle shifts down to bot to lane with Slark against DK, so that's the matchup HellRaisers wanted. And OG tri-laning with Earthshaker, Pantress, and Luna up here against a Weaver and a Pango.
It's such a strong lane on the top. You have Luna with the Lunar Blessing. Like, what does Ench get from it? 0.6 armor, damage increased by 15%, so extra like 7 damage in the laning stage on top of impetus. That's pretty big.
Nice little courier snipe by Roger though, takes out Sentry Ward that Saxa was bringing up top. Weaver gonna have a free time continuing on. No Tail grabs himself a little Vul assassin. He's got the poison spears.
Yeah,
Just farming jungle, he's just chilling. Trying to gather whatever farm he can.
Vul assassin. I still like can't remember that damage reduction. He actually has a heal reduction on Vul assassin.
On the poison?
Yeah.
Wow. How's that mid lane going? It's like it's pretty decent for both sides. Very even CS wise, but mid one of course taking the brunt of harassment. Tipping Kasani there as Spirit Siphon's coming out. Really just spamming down mid one, controlling the wave very well.
And mid one adjusting with the build, going for earlier point in the Simulate, which I like, so he can break the Spirit Siphon. It's definitely, I would say, a Dead Prophet favorite matchup, even though you get farm with Void Spirit hard to shut down, and once he hits level 6, like, you need to be careful. You might not get the Spirit Siphon off if you're like trying to play more aggressive into it. He's a hero that can like dodge all of it with his spells.
Seb. Looks like he's fine. Agonite 6 and 1. Slark of course pretty much free farming down here. Not much Seb can do down here alone. He is just soaking up whatever he can. Doing a very good job dragging little bits of the wave back, trying to manipulate the large camp with the... Real rough time down there, especially when Slark now level 3. He's got the pounce and the 2 points in the essence shift. If Seb even oversteps by an inch, quite easily die, especially with the Orb of Venom now up on the Slark as well.
Yeah, 2 points in essence shift. He needs to be careful. They have 2 ways of stopping the TP. Even though he's getting a lot of XP on the bottom, level 4, 3.5 minutes in, which is pretty nice. He bought the Windlace for himself to have any kind of extra movement speed, and here they come. Just kidding.
Yeah, they're just poking and prodding at him a little bit. No Tail's actually going to come down here and help out. So they get Seb to level 4. Trying to trade hits, but still a tanky boy. And Miposhka can't really deal with this No Tail Enchantress now. Picks up the Dark Troll. Gets a good amount of damage in, trying to burst him down little by little. Nyx doesn't land the pounce, but they still get the Purifying Flames, and Seb won't be able to turn and kill. Maybe, do they have another trap? They had it in a second, but the salve is there, and Nyx will walk off. Claiming first blood, Enchantress falls, but I think that's something OG were reasonably happy with. They went for an attempt to pressure HR, they give away their position 5, they keep Seb alive. It seems all right, all things considered, but still very good for HellRaisers to get that first blood, and in a Slark lane as well.
Look at how spread they are on the map. Like, they have 1-1-1 on the lanes, and 2 others are just walking from one lane to another. Like, they secured Luna's farm early on. Now she's level 4, Magic Wand, Fairy Fire. Weaver can't deal with Luna right now. Usually she's the one who's bullying the supports, but it's not the case here. Like, 2 stuns, stun into another beam, Weaver's dead. Also, you need to be careful about positioning yourself with the earlier points in Shikuchi. Same goes for this Swashbuckle. It's a very long cooldown.
It's like they will be able to grab up one of the bounty runes top. One. Still 3-1 there for HellRaisers, and Poshka grabs up 2 of them. Early raindrops on him. Poshka. Deal with that breathe fire from the DK. Top lane. Oh, the sentry's down. Saxa finds Roger with the help of Sumail. Evening things up on the scoreboard and getting Luna a kill, accelerating her a little faster into that Helm of the Dominator.
Once you get to level 6 with Luna, you don't necessarily need to get a kill. You mostly want to save that ulti for like defensive purpose. It's just a threat of Eclipse, so you can like farm in the laning stage and not necessarily get a kill.
Like threatening people, if you chase me, I'm gonna Eclipse and you'll... Hey. Mid one. Jumping aggressively onto Xani here, and Miposhka trying to arrive, but the final astral step gets mid one out of dodge. Roger also is making a rotation in there as HellRaisers kind of collapsed both of their supports in towards the Void Spirit. But I can't take my eyes off bottom lane, you know, this Slark Oracle lane has lost against a solo DK with one rotation of an Enchantress where she fed. Like, I feel like if you're not dumpstering this lane, you've lost it, right?
Yeah, that's massive. I mean, you got a safe lane DK.
Mid one does get Fortune's ended up, but Saxa's here with a really nice Fissure into the two-man enchant totem hit. Oh, the pebble from the golem doesn't land on Roger. He got just far enough away with the Shikuchi, and Saxa saved from the bugs by mid one. Dani could maybe get jumped here again. Mid one, 7 seconds for another astral step. Like, not gonna go diving just yet. First exorcism though, not really gathering too much here for HellRaisers. And the pebbles just keep on coming from No Tail, these golems. Boulders at them.
Well, they dealt some tower damage, half HP, but still all the other lanes are going well for OG. I thought Dragonite is, you know, gonna lose his lane, but Seb, it's always nice to see him back in the action. He is level 6, putting a lot of pressure on the tower. I mean, Dragonite's pushing tower solo. Now they even rotate Weaver to the bottom lane.
Oh, he was doing so much against that Slark. Nyx was close to death. They will jump onto Seb now, pop the Shadow Dance, as finally Slark has hit 6 and should be able to gather his first stack of that Essence Shift bonus.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
But yeah, Dragonite hits 6 because he's in that solo lane, right? He hits 6 before the Slark, pops his ulti, gets damage on the tower, he was chipping away at Nyx. Now they force that 2-hero rotation, and it feels like HellRaisers want to swing mid again. OG prep themselves. Enchantress and Void Spirit harassing the Death Prophet back. Top tower has gone as Sumail with that catapult. Short work of the objective, and they've got those little hurl boulders onto Xani. Grab up the rune for mid one.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
No rune.
Nope. Rotation so far from OG's supports were on point. Like going to the bottom lane for a minute or two, just giving Dragonite, you know, some CS. Rotating to the top, playing around the catapult timing, defending the tier 1 tower on mid against that Prophet ulti. And now Luna, like, look where she's farming. Hell of the Dominator completed, about to hit level 7. So this ulti is pretty devastating.
What's your dream creep here? Like, first creep, Hell of the Dominator.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I think you get either like a Centaur or Troll and Snare. You don't want to get Wolf early on for the damage, you know, when you're grouping around, but having extra slow or stun is much better. And Enchantress can also take creeps, so there's going to be a lot of those. You can mix them up.
Well, we're gonna have a big fight mid. OG trying to look for that tier 1, but Xani saved up. Miposhka still at level 6, tries with the Fate's Edict to save up the DP. It looks like Xani's still gonna get shredded by the Eclipse as they take down Seb in exchange for the turn from HellRaisers. With the Slark's arrival, Nyx pops the Shadow Dance, but he's been fissured up. Saxa doesn't have Echo Slam. He's walking into this fight, but they'll bring Nyx down thanks to mid 1, turning it into a bonus kill on Funnick. Roger and Miposhka, the two supports, have nothing left to do here apart from maybe burst down No Tail, but he's too tanky until the final Purifying Flames. Miposhka and Roger may be in a bit of trouble here. Shikuchi in a second. They've got the save from the Oracle again. As OG feels like they came out on top of that fight, especially if they can get that tier 1 in the mid lane as well. First big clash behind that tower. HellRaisers were the ones that were forced to respond. As mid 1 grabs a haste rune. Looks like he'll be all right to walk away from the Oracle. Mid tier 1 still standing, Lacoste.
Yeah, I love the aggressiveness. They're playing behind tier 1 tower. They are gonna pick up 4 bounty runes. Supports, they need to be level 6. Roger only level 4 at the moment. Oracle level 5.5. Roger was not having a good time.
Don't be mad. Don't be mad.
It's been really rough for these supports, hasn't it?
A golden thread.
And where do you go now as HellRaisers, right? You all TP and rotate into mid tier 1 to defend it. And then OG are straight back out onto lanes, pushing out side lanes, farming top on the Earthshaker to try and accelerate towards the Blink. Bottom tier 1 looks like with the Elder Dragon form up in about 5 seconds, Seb will shift into action there. Not going to have the help of Luna just yet, so very content farming the jungle. But you can see how desperate HellRaisers are to get momentum. They are bringing everyone down bottom lane apart from the Weaver, who can TP, and they're going to make a move on to Seb. Fortune's End with a swashbuckle forward. They're really going to Rolling Thunder this. Nyx is there with another pounce if he wants to leash up the Dragon Knight. Seb's very tanky though. 6-1 charges is still up and running. He's going to try and pop them and walk it off.
Team?
Surrounded.
Team? Yeah, no one around him. They understand that he's dead, so they're just going to be playing other part of the map. All these creeps, like look at the auras. Unholy Aura, Lunar's Blessing, Helm of the Dom, Ice Armor. Med one, he's rushing Ags, which I like. This Ags has to be one of the best ones, at least the ones you're getting this early on. I would say like Zeus is the second one, but Zeus usually gets it as a second, third item.
Exactly, right? Like first item Ags, it has to be Void Spirit up there. If not top, very close to it. Good little catch on to Roger, taking out the Weaver. Dax's first Echo Slam, putting him even closer to that Blink Dagger, now about 800 gold away. And the fact, you know, you talked about it, they let Seb die bottom lane. They didn't move down to help him, they didn't TP, they didn't react. They took mid tier 1 as, mid 1. Diving in to try and look for Miposhka. Xani does turn to battle with a disarm now from the swashbuckle. He's going to have to dissimulate to jump away from this. He's holding onto it to try and maybe get to low ground. Still holding it there, he's moving out. Mid 1 will be safe and sound. Funnick looking for another jump in though as the Rolling Thunder ends, but he's stunned up. That Dragon Knight, Dragon Tail stuns him. They do catch him, but Funnick has the backup of Miposhka. HellRaisers disengaging. Slark not really in a position to get involved in these fights. OG just positioning themselves so well. Take objectives, back up each other. You know, they kind of dangle a kill here, let someone fall, but they are making the moves that will get them into this mid game in a much stronger position.
I'm just scrolling through the items. Slark is going for Shadowblade first item. My friend, this is not 2015. I've seen Slark 2 days ago where he was going for Echo Saber into Heaven's Halberd. I believe it was Virtus Pro, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh.
Well, very, very cool, but not very effective.
Innovation, not necessarily intelligent. OG still kind of prepping up top lane around the outpost. Sax are farming away mid for that Blink Dagger. It's the safest place for OG, you know, an OG hero to kind of show out on the map right now. Hold that mid lane, make sure no pressure comes onto the tier 1. I'm interested though, Sumail going into the draft at this point after the Helm of the Dominator. Or the pinging set. Funnick and Roger have set up for this. Xani's in there. There's a tornado flying out and slowing down the Death Prophet. So
100 movement speed.
What are you doing? You can't move. You've been trapped up in a fissure now, being jumped by the entirety of OG. Miposhka has False Promise. Still waiting in the shadows here, holding that tree line as Funnick. Fake pumping Rolling Thunder. This time he'll go for it. Xani! Oh my god, they don't even get the save. Oracle falls immediately after. Sumail's diving under tier 2 tower. OG, 5 heroes strong, into this dire area of the map. The entire map belongs to them right now. There is just no response from HellRaisers.
It's a tough choice from Oracle. Like, you do not want to pop it straight away, but OG, they realize the moment they had, so they use the spells at the perfect timing and they snipe them. Like, you do not want to use Oracle ulti on DP who's half HP, then it means that you're fully committing, and OG is playing so well around Death Prophet. They didn't allow Death Prophet to achieve anything with her 2 first exorcism. Tier 1 still standing on the mid lane.
Well, okay, Nyx Shadowblade, the first thing he does is steal 2 bounty runes under the nose of OG.
Maybe they don't know. Like, maybe someone, I don't know, picked up Invis rune.
Poshka obliterated.
Shame in it?
This is the thing. Just jump in, Luna sets it up with a Lucent Beam. Mid one catches out, and the squishy heroes, right? We talked about it. HellRaisers have very squishy heroes. Pre-BKB, or if you're the one that's being dived and you're behind, they just feel so lackluster, as Nyx does manage to grab a kill with Roger. Onto Saxa. Doesn't delay the blink though. I believe that was coming out. Yes, it's on his courier. So blink Earthshaker is ready in 20 seconds.
It's the perfect debate timing. Like, oh, we killed Earthshaker. He does not have a blink dagger. We can take a fight. But like, look what's coming. I want to see a smoke. Does he have enough gold to buy it? He does not. And Saxa. But someone else should buy it. Tier 2 tower in mid still standing. I want to see Ags on Luna. Like, she has Dragonlance. It's a decent tanky item. You can upgrade it later on into Hurricane Pike, which is great against the Slark. But Luna's Ags, it also is like not necessarily a late game item anymore.
Oh, they're catching Roger. I don't know if they need to. They don't even need to expend Echo Slam. They've got enough damage just to shred through the Weaver. As quick as that. Nyx is trying to shove down bottom lane, get a bit of pressure onto tier 2. But this is the bot lane for the Radiant. They don't give a damn about that. They are going to go top. They're going to go mid. Control up the Roshan area. Basically, OG right now, they are looking for a fight to try and take objectives. They want to beat down HellRaisers, take tier 2 top and mid, and look for Roshan in the next couple of minutes. There's Death Prophet Lacoste. 5,500 net worth. Eul Scepter, a recipe away. When DP, Slark, your two big cores, you throw Pango in there, hell. When they are on the back foot and when they're being jumped by 3 heroes and there's no save nearby, like what is Kasani doing here?
Dying? I don't know. Like, he's level 10 and he's picking out the ward. That one should be devorded, but at what cost?
A really rough one. But yeah, when you're on the back foot as this HellRaisers lineup, Roger's gonna get jumped. Chain stunned, dead, 6 feet under, Weaver. Hit by the bug spray.
Roger is not having a game.
There's something to be said, right, for drafting flexible heroes, but maybe over-flexing. You know, we love in drafts when we see Weaver, DP, with a Pango, and you're thinking, oh, they can go into any of these lanes. But when we now start to look at it and how things are being executed, yes, OG have played exceptionally well, but flexing all of these heroes is one thing. Being able to, you know, build a draft and have comeback mechanism if your laning stage doesn't go well, or being able to group up as 5 and play together, that's difficult when you have a Slark, when you have a Weaver position really give you any catch or teamfight capabilities. Oracle is basically just a save at this point. You're relying on DP and Pango to have a good laning stage and take objectives and teamfights on your terms, but you just can't.
Like, who's their catch? They need to heavily commit with either Slark using aggressive pounce or Rolling Thunder, like to initiate a team fight.
It's impossible. Nyx is cutting waves mid. Miposhka not too far away is there to back up the Slark if need be. But your mid tier 2 is dead regardless. Luna there with a Centaur. Has an Enchantress Centaur as well. Wait, they caught Saxa. They do bring the Earthshaker down. Notel tries to slow up Nyx. They've got the Remnant there catching Slark, who goes for the TP. Seb might be able to get the Dragon Tail in time, and he does. Just as the Shadow Dance ends, they blow up the Slark, and that trade is just not worth it. They wanted the quick pick on Saxa and the bail away, but Slark wasn't able to make it.
You don't expect them to play this aggressively. Saxla was probably like, the fuck, man, what's going on? Like, they're chasing me between tier 1 and tier 2 tower, and instantly sentry board by Enchantress to see if there's any observer ward, and there's not. Like, they just found him with the Shadow Blade.
Here comes a bit of a push mid. Dragon Knight gonna shove that wave in. Like Luna not joining in just yet. Void Spirit and Earthshaker are both swinging down towards bottom lane. Mid one gets scouted by Observer Wards though on his way through. Oracle is nearby DP. We'll be able to feel that one coming, or see it coming. HellRaisers buying themselves a little bit more time, resetting the lanes, shoving out best they can, and they're looking for a catch onto Seb DK. Sentry Ward. It's a dire one. Blink Thunder not going to get expended. The pounce onto the Enchantress. Sumail, he's just out of there. Sumail has the Hurricane play done, so he's able to save people from that leash. Oh, Nyx wasted Dark Pact. Saxa doesn't get the blink enchant quite good enough. And mid lane, Seb stunning at the DP. He is isolated and alone here, Dragon Knight. Gonna get sucked down by the Death Prophet. Seb burnt up by the Purifying Flames. Funnick looking to catch again, but HellRaisers really lacking in that catch department. Seb's even going to buy back here, and the Eclipse comes through. Slark in trouble, silenced up, but gets himself away with the ulti. False promise onto the DP as that Xani, Death Prophet, Exorcism going, needs to get something off the back of this. Seb's buyback's going to hold the line and defend the tier 1 regardless, as OG, 7 seconds for Earthshaker to respawn with the Blink Echo Slam, and HellRaisers, yet another engagement where they get 1 kill, but they can't transition it into anything else.
OG should just run into Roche Pit right now. They know there's no Exorcism, there's no Rolling Thunder, and these are their team fighting abilities. Also, it was level 1 Death Prophet ulti. Like, you want to have it level 2. It's minute 20. Ghosts go from 8 to 16. They double, so it's a very big difference.
Sure is. Trying to work on the BKB now, Sony. Real tough. I mean, Luna's looking towards a butterfly now. Helm, Pike, into Butterfly, 12,000 net worth on Sumail, really the position 1 in this game. And, you know, you were talking about the ping, wondering what Sumail does to remedy that. Luna pretty much is just an A-click, you know, run down lane hero at this point. You get a Helm creep, you A-click down a lane, you kill creeps. You're farming up beautifully.
There's still tier 2 tower on the top lane, they're grouping around. No Tail TPing from the fog, so they don't know where he is, but HellRaisers, they've been doing a good job just trying to delay this as much as they can. They understand that OG is much stronger right now. They need an extra set of items. So Slark and Weaver. Weaver
doesn't have time lapse anymore. Already used it.
Yep. They try to cut the waves as much as they can. Now they got the tower. It's fine if Roger dies there for the tier 1 tower on the mid lane.
Finally, HellRaisers, a bit of momentum going their way. Death Prophet to close in on that BKB. But her gold money. Oh yeah, Metal Hammer coming out. That seems weird to me. Why Metal Hammer instead of the Ogre Club?
Good question. I mean, if you're
I don't think I've ever seen that, Lacoste.
Gold investment? I don't know.
It's a bit odd. They do smoke up behind the slot now. Saxon looking for the line of the Fisher as Roshan grabbed by OG. Still considering the jump onto Xani, but they need to find the Boschka. That's the 3-man silence. Slap from Saxon. They've got a beautiful jump and they're going to take down HR. Weaver does get out of danger as the Rolling Thunder catches out a couple of OG on the way through, and the buyback from Oracle forced out as Funnick. He's got a TP, but it's cancelled. He doesn't get himself away, and Sumail just continually spamming out these Lucent Beams. Gonna find the Pangolier. Fisher misses, but mid one should be able to close the gap here and very easily find the Pangolier trapped in the trees. Funnick trying his best with a swashbuckle and that lifesteal from Vlad.
Oh, disarm.
A little bit more time, but it's just delaying the inevitable death of the Pangolier. So 3 kills, a buyback from Oracle, and OG yet again. They get Roshan, a big objective. They come into the fight and they lose nothing.
The execution is just perfect. Void Spirit uses Astral Step, finds 3 heroes with Resonant Pulse, silences them. Saxa Blink Dagger was not interrupted, so he could freely jump in. Bottom lane, Slark in a bit of trouble.
And they've jumped the DP, choosing to go on the squishier target. Oracle still nowhere to be seen. Miboshka is towards the mid lane, so Death Prophet down for 40 seconds. They've caught the Slark as well. Oh, Nyx! Down you go. 2 big core kills in a row for OG, and a tier 1 to boot. It is just dominoes toppling right now. HellRaisers doesn't feel like they've got a chance in hell this game.
Choice of talents in Luna. Cast range, Lucent Beam cooldown. Like, cast range is great for the Hurricane Pike. It got nerfed in the previous patch. The cast range was pretty garbage, like you need to stand close, so if you're saving your teammates, also for the Lucent Beam, he's just gonna keep spamming that. You do not want your tier 3 tower to fall. If your tier 3 tower falls, you're playing against Luna, your Raxes are gone. You can't take the fight anymore. Like, you either take a fight when tier 3 tower is alive, or you don't take it.
She's got full butterfly. Seb can finish off a halberd soon. They're up on the Enchantress, so they've got even more sustain to keep this fight going. Oh, keep the push
Smart
going.
choice. They didn't take the fight. There's gonna be way too many bounces from Moonglaves.
There's the full lane. Saxa has Blink Echo up, 10 seconds time. They're TPing top to try and maybe catch Roger. Seb's Blink on cooldown though, so no way to get in there with a Dragon Tail. They're gonna take themselves 4 bounty runes, it looks like. OG really closing the net around HR. Seb hunting for Roger, but it might be him that becomes the prey now as Nyx, the Slark, Apex Predator, looking for the Dragon Knight, but the turnaround from OG is here. Sani almost annihilated, gets the false promise up from Iboshka, and they swing into action. No tail shredded. Finally, HellRaisers get a fight that maybe can be worthy, but Sumail's Eclipse doing so much damage and allowing him to shift out with the Hurricane Pike. He's got himself the Aegis, don't forget. So OG group up around that and make sure that 3, no 4 heroes of HellRaisers are annihilated. Slark is the only one left standing.
Enchantress buying back there, like, okay, you use Death Prophet, Alta, False Promise, plus a Rolling Thunder. I'll gladly buy back. I'll take that one. And GG's call. They understand that Luna can just easily take tier 4 towers right now.
Absolutely can. Nothing to stop it whatsoever. Man, that is just a beautiful performance from OG. I can't stop thinking about the Dragon Knight lane. You know, the way Seb played that bot lane against Oracle Slark, he never got...
Trying to take advantage of it somehow.
They're waiting there on the high ground. That immediately burst through the Aphotic Shield. No-Tail is trying to run. The Smash is after him. No-Tail's got the backup of Anna. Mind Control's going to head in. Liquid then diving on forward. GH will be kept safe by the Heavenly Grace. Kuro may have done a little tip by this time. Will be surrounded. The 4 of them take down Kuro. Put an end to his reign across the map. As OG responding in their numbers now in that middle lane. They won't let Liquid get away with this any longer.
They still, OG has a very strong way to fight, even in the early game. Even if they do have a greedy IO pick, it's what it provides you, especially when you have a Gyro. Gyro is all about that early fights, same thing with Tiny. And even Timbersaw, but Seb right now, we know he doesn't really want to show up except for the tower defenses. And he's also going to be matching that Chen, who's going to be an early mech. It's actually going to be a mech Timbersaw since they have IO. So this amount of sustain that could come out from OG pretty soon is going to be pretty hard for Liquid to deal with this. Seb, he actually jumps forward for GH.
He goes deep. We are going to turn with the focus fire. Seb, of course, has got the max reactive armor. Thanks to that, Shackle won't latch. Seb, continue to back off. Chains out, back over the river. He's fine. Liquid will try and turn their attention towards Thompson, but with No-Tail by his side, they cannot dive up to the high ground. Seb holding them back.
5 Liquid heroes in the mid lane. Trying to brawl again at the same time as last game. It's 13 minutes in, and there's 9 heroes or 8 heroes positioned around this area. They want to go for No-Tail, but he's got ulti.
Miracle's going to continue to chase this under the Titcher, and they will get it. Seb is trying to turn. The missile is out on the Kuro. Does Seb have the burst? Not quite. Magnetizes out, and Seb has to retreat. Shackle does latch. Liquid. They've got the lockdown. They've got the roll forward. The kickback. They'll crush him. Liquid. They're diving again.
They want top.
They've got a bit of a flavor of how OG was playing in these last 2 games, and they're saying we can do it too. Thompson past the cooldown. They won't They won't go too crazy. They'll let him live. They don't want to dive up towards the tier 3. They know TPs are coming in.
They have to make sure they're hitting the tower because the side lanes are being split pushed. Ana as well as JerAx are actually pressuring these other two towers. And they're not even going to get this one here. It's down into deny range. OG might be able to deny that mid tower if they choose to do so. Liquid with an overzealous dive there, not losing anybody, but the side lanes giving a lot to that Tiny as well as that IO. And we know this, the timing, it's all about just waiting for IO to get not only Aghanims, but get that level 15 talent. That's what OG wants.
He's diving in. Onto Kuro with the flak as well. Hand of God will not keep Chen alive today.
GH will not get TP'd out. JerAx actually TP's in and gets the toss up at the exact timing.
And OG's actually not done, as they are still hunting for action. Miracle the focus. Thompson's got a DD. A power shot does come out. Lands on Thompson.
A bit too aggressive there from Thompson. He'll throw down the call down just to clear the
Well, the Shackle actually reaches across the trees, but no tell. He's there with a shield. Thompson goes with the TP out. The focus fired it out. The damage is not enough. Thompson save. A spray on the way out. Thompson will escape. Liquid, it's 9-6 in their favor, but the net worth difference, it's pretty much even. As you say, sure, Liquid, they are bringing the aggression, finding the kills, but space is being given to those important members of OG.
Yeah, especially Ana. Halfway to that Aghanims already. Level 11 finished up. He's got the Spirit supplied slow, so he can fight as soon as he has that Aghanims, of course, with the talent, but the big one is that 15, that extra Spirit hero damage that does come out. But yeah, look at this immediately. Seb now positioned up top. He wants to push the top tower as soon as Liquid is positioned in mid. And JerAx already looking to set up down toward the bottom lane. Liquid have to just get these towers. Have to get some type of map advantage here.
Once Ana has the Aghanims, things are going to start getting very tricky for Liquid when they turn up like this.
Yeah.
The spirits will be out.
Yeah, and they have Bristle. That's a good thing, right? Bristle can be good versus the IO. If you can get on top of him, the goo. You don't have the highest armor traditionally on the IO, but he's versus an actual counter. Timbersaw, very good versus Bristle back at all stages.
Are fortified.
It's just that farm game, OG.
They've got mind control. Looking towards Seb up top, but it's hard really for these heroes without the shackle shot. Or GH getting a beautiful angle. It's very hard for them to kill Seb.
It's very hard for them to kill pretty much anybody if they don't have Weehawk. If they can catch some of the supports and the running around by themselves, they can maybe pick them up, but they really need Weehawk for the damage. The rest of them do not really provide that at this point in the game versus what they're against. Magnetize can be good, but there's a lot of ways that they can deal with it. Not only with the tankiness of how they are, but also there's an advantage. We just remove it a lot of the times.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And Seb, he could just get away with this, pushing this wave into the tier 2 every single time, knowing that sure, if Liquid do come for him, it's going to be so many of their resources that it's probably going to be worth it for OG to have Seb positioned that aggressively and for him to draw that much attention towards him. Thompson's getting space, Ana's getting space.
Look at that build by Thompson. Diffusal gyrocopter.
Wait, what?
Diffusal? Gyrocopter, I just said it.
Stretch diffusal gyrocopter. Fancy that, Thompson.
So
doing something that I don't think I've ever seen this.
Kind of. I mean, it's interesting because it's going to provide a lot of like mana burn, which is going to be annoying for Liquid.
Okay.
It gives you a lot of agility and it gives you ways to run around and chase heroes down, I guess.
There's Liquid.
Different.
They've got the kill squad getting mobile again.
They can transition this into a Roche. DD rune on the Bristleback. They've got Pipe. Yeah, they can easily do this one with the Medallion as well. However, OG, they know what's going on. They can look to contest this as well. As do they have the Aghanims finished up? It's almost there for Ana. And they're pinging it. They seem, now they're aware of it, but it looks like it's almost too low for them to contest with all this minus armor. And Liquid will get away with this one.
And let's see what they can do with it. Aegis, Pipe, they have those early tools to start making moves. Start looking towards some of these tier 2 towers.
Ags is complete now on the IO. So Ags IO finished, and we're about to hit 20 minutes. So I'm assuming that OG's gonna buy the tome, give it to that IO so he gets the extra spirit damage. Liquid, they gotta group up and try to get something big here. They gotta catch out these backlines heroes. They really have to get on top of the IO with a nice shackle shot and we got to focus firing. They have to control and stun the IO.
Hunting for Ana. I won't quite find, but no, definitely, yeah, thinking about it, this diffusal blade, I see what you mean. It does make sense, right? There is, you look at what Miracle and Mind Control in particular.
They're completely dependent on their mana.
And they're dependent on the fights being drawn out, right?
Yeah.
They revel in situations where the fight continues. And sure, they can't kill them quickly necessarily, OG, but Thompson, he can burn, he's going to take their mana away, and they're going to be essentially some of these useless, tanky targets on the front that OG can then ignore and look for the more volatile kills.
And he's acting as this like super frontliner. And Bristleback is a hero that if you don't have mana, you don't have damage. So if he's just going to be burning the Bristle, I can see it. You know, I can see it. And he's super farmed, and look how tanky he is. 2,000 HP on the gyro. There's going to be an MKB finish now for Weehaw, so his damage is going to be very high as Sem's getting slowed down. He's got greens available, but he's getting burst.
I mean, they're bringing him low. He's got the shield. Now they'll be able to turn. Cooldowns drop down by Thompson. And here we have it. Miracle. His mana's gone. He's able to pop the stick, get it a fair bit of it back, and he's able to head back in, pushing OG back behind the racks. They're getting a good amount of damage onto this tier 3 tower. They quit. They push on.
On Io. That Spirit Hero damage is there now. Ana going to join the fray finally.
There we have it. Miracle's mana. It's pretty much entirely gone by Thompson's focus. Look at what GH is. He can't get out. There's no mana. GH, he's dead. And now OG, they have that numbers advantage for this defense. They'll try and change the board. Thompson, the Rocket Barrage brings Miracle down. There's the Shackle turnaround. They're looking for Jarek. Jarek's backing away. Thompson focusing Miracle. Miracle's still out of mana because of this diffusion. Jarek, he's able to cover. The GA is out. We all will fall though. The magic damage is there for Thompson. Miracle's trying to run. Another stick charge pop, but Jarek can shut him off. In fact, Jarek, he's ready to try and look for more potentially. There's only the once. Thompson, he's on top of Kuro. Another cooldown there. The toss back into the combo. Jarek,
oh my God.
They're all getting picked apart as Mind Control falls. Miracle is surrounded, and they're all able to get this as well. OG, they will hold.
And they're even taunting. They toss him to the dragon. Holy crap. Thompson, the diffusal is absolutely working. Burns all their mana.
But I don't think anyone would have expected to see Gyro, the deciding game. The diffusal blade Gyro, it is perfect for this point of the match.
He just did an insane amount of damage, front lines the entire time, and then Ana just has free reign to get all that Spirit Hero damage, and it's back completely the other way, and it feels like the control is just gone for them.
What do you do? When your mana's gone, what do you do?
Oh my god. OG starting to take over.
Necessarily feel like individual drafting decisions look at how the draft, unfolds and is executed before your eyes. You start to realize that OG, their map movement, that Enchantress Earthshaker, the way they, kind of bounce back off each other and give each other space, early game, mid game, get sacked to the Blink Dagger, the cores. Kind of selfless, Seb giving up his life every now and then to make sure that mid one gets a fast Aghanim Scepter. But it's really after that point that I want to focus on the 5-man group up, where they are just taking objectives, I think more importantly, taking areas of the map. Like they play Radiant, they get into the Dire jungle, they control Outpost, they control tier 2s, they control Roshan, and they make sure that, like, HellRaisers have two options basically, right? HellRaisers either mirror the movement and they go opposite side of the map and try and make moves on OG's tier 2s, OG's Outpost. But OG can do things faster.
They could not mirror the movement in the previous game. They've shut down Dead Prophet. First Exorcism used. They didn't get too much out of it. Two supports coming just to defend the tier 1 tower. And Luna on the top lane played with the catapult wave. They took the tower. Slark plus Oracle can't really take the tower. There was a Dragon Knight standing in front of them. You can't just ignore him and take the tower.
Exactly. The other option is HellRaisers have to meet OG in the jungle. Already ahead, then you're taking this, clash where Slark is out farming, trying to finish off Silver Edge, and you're playing a 4v5. OG are ahead, they've got item advantage, and you just have no options. Like, OG are backing you into a corner and beating you down. As the draft underway yet again, HellRaisers opting to take out Lesh Ember Beastmaster. It looks pretty similar to game 1. Doesn't look like anyone's changed. Oh, there we go. Ricky first phase ban from OG, taking that out straight away.
Now they banned it in the second or the last phase in the previous game. They're really afraid of Ricky. Ricky is such a annoying hero to play against. Like, you get the Fusel Blade, you're the strongest hero on the map. No doubt about it.
Seconds remaining. OG's turn to ban.
Makes way into the ban pool because OG are going to be the ones that have to do it, but they leave it in. So potential here for HellRaisers to maybe play around that Funnic Timber. And honestly, that's what I want to see them do. I want them to have more tempo, more, agency, more urgency even, as they can potentially try and make moves of their own rather than waiting for OG to come to them.
I like the approach from OG. They ban out Death Prophet. They're like, yeah, we want to have an even game. We want to be challenged, so we do not want to give you Death Prophet who's building a Mithril Hammer. That's what I was about to say. Like, I would not be surprised if they open up with the two same heroes.
Deja vu. So, Troll Warlord immediately comes to mind. I know this isn't Chicken Fighters or NIP, who do like to open Oracle Troll every now and then. We know that OG are probably going to ban it second phase. They got rid of DP. They're probably going to get rid of Troll second phase. Do HellRaisers risk going for Troll in the first stage? What are the downsides to doing?
It's a hero that's easy to kite. Like any Yule Scepter, OG, they love to run Pugna. But I like this. They have instant stun in terms of like Earthshaker, but if it's gonna be either mid or off lane, you get the point in the Simulate. You don't care too much about the Fissure, you can just jump over it. Resonant Pulse Shield is dispellable with the Enchantress, so that's a good side for OG.
Dragonite taken out by HR, getting rid of some of that tower damage that OG did. Like, so quickly they ramped up with Luna Helm, DK shoving these tier 1s. They do leave Lycan in the pool, and there is that Troll ban, so it does get removed. The combo with Battle Trance and False Promise gone. OG like to flex heroes here, usually in that... Easily just Lycan right now.
They could. There's still like Wyvern in the pool, which I really like against the Lycan.
Dire team pick.
Okay.
All right. If it's not broken, don't fix it. Like, they need to replace Void Spirit with a different kind of a hero.
There's plenty.
10 seconds remaining.
Wait, is Monkey available? We could see Monkey King from OG come out, right? There's Voice Spirit on the table. If HellRaisers now pick up another hero that doesn't match well against the Monkey King, that fear has to be in the back of your mind right now. It's worth mentioning though, Void Spirit can go across pretty much every role at this point for HellRaisers, from 1 through to 4. Definitely potential for them to do that. A Treant.
Okay, that's a hero that can slow them down. Like, literally, you can armor the tower, you can give shield globally, and then you can play more aggressive on the side lanes. And it's a hero that puts a lot of pressure in the laning stage. Support gets caught in a bad spot, like, you're straight up dead.
5 seconds remaining.
We head into for OG. Can't fully repeat that full draft. Like, I mentioned the Timbersaw earlier. Are you worried about Timber as OG? Like, do you have to pick a hero that can specifically handle the Timbersaw, or are you just gonna be like, whatever, we can play around it?
They don't have the best heroes right now against Timbersaw. Timber with Hood looks pretty unkillable if we're just looking at the 3 heroes from OG. There's Impetus, which is pure damage. Any kind of pure damage Timbersaw does not like to play into. I'm not sure if that's enough. But if they get Timbersaw, they're pretty limited on the catch once again.
Yeah, they should. I want to see more. Where's Tide? Where's Enigma? Where are these big teamfight ulti? So Miposhka very likely going to be this Oracle. Roger Treant, Void Spirit, maybe Funnick, maybe Xani.
Dire team pick.
Okay, Lacoste. Where's the tide? Where's the Enigma? OG, they're listening to me. They bring out the big black hole.
I believe you have enough AoE on the simulate to lock him down. I'm not sure if he can get out. Maybe they did the math. They know. Like, you just use black hole on the simulate, you're gonna catch him.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I don't know. OG is just on a different level than other teams. Like, the way they pick, like, you literally don't know what they're gonna go for.
Suddenly Enigma. But it's another pushing hero, a great aura carrier. Matches up pretty nicely with a Luna and, you know, timings in terms of pushing down objectives, taking towers. So I'm assuming that's going to be Seb hero. Earthshaker again for Saxa. No Tail takes up the Enchantress. Sumail Luna. So the mid hero, very likely going to be the last grab. Should see the HellRaisers matchups a little bit earlier on. They've really got to decide, though, where they want to head with this.
Whenever you're playing against Enigma, you're always afraid that it's going to come to that point where, okay, Enigma's going to get a BKB. How do we cancel it? So you need to have any kind of BKB piercing ability that can stun Enigma.
OG's turn to ban.
Points away.
Pangolier. So probably your Funnick hero there, and then Void Spirit going to be your Xani, with Nyx being the last pick for HellRaisers.
I didn't see any Void Spirits being played on the safe lane. I don't think it's fit for the hero. Like, he needs either like solo levels or when he has a good matchup and then he's pressuring the enemy carry. So I believe it's gonna be, well, I believe it's gonna be a mid Void Spirit.
Yeah, I think so too. Do you try and match up the Pango against the Enigma to try and kill off Eidolons with Swashbuckle, maybe get a 1v1, and tri-lane, do you tri-lane Treant, Oracle +1?
It is a strong tri-lane.
Like, OG tri-laned the Luna for the first couple of minutes, right? Earthshaker, Ench, Luna, they got a good start for Sumail, and I'm just wondering if HellRaisers do that early on. Maybe thinking the Void Spirit's going to be the position 1, or just removing the threat of Kasani on the QoP. Has been his signature hero, really.
Well, I believe OG is gonna start with a tri-lane once again. Enigma, like, he's the only hero that can deny the creeps and pull the lane back. They might even run Enigma on the safe lane, as they did Dragon Knight in the first game.
There's the monkey ban. Oh, no thing there for mid one. Got pretty good tower defense, HellRaisers. Overgrowth, Pangolier, Rolling Thunder. Great ways to fight around tier 1s, around objectives and choke points. Doesn't really have a great target to be saving. Right now it's looking like he'll be targeting Void Spirit, but I guess this last pick be the primary false promise target from Miposhka. It's just another difficult game here for HellRaisers to catch heroes. You're going to have to expend ultimates. Pango and Treant are your primary initiators. I guess Void Spirit gives you that reach and catch with the Astral Step and Remnant as well. Single targets.
OG's turn to pick.
Weaver.
They go for the Weaver once more. Looks like it should be that mid Void Spirit and the Nyx Weaver coming out. Yet again, very squishy heroes from HellRaisers. And if OG pick up a hero that can really jump in, dive on these heroes, maybe with a silence or a bit of a...
Something like a Puck. Puck would be good.
That's perfect.
Even Storm
Desert,
Spirit.
Silent.
Storm Spirit should be fine. They have very limited cash once again on HellRaisers, as you said. Like, you need to heavily commit with one of the either ultis from Pangolier or Treant Protector.
Bloodseeker. There's a silence, there's the gap close with all that movement speed as well. Mid one, Bloodseeker. The final pick from OG. Not what I expected at all, but it fits in with what I wanted, really. OG round out their draft. Beyond that Enigma. HellRaisers, it looks like it is what we expected. Nyx on the Weaver, Funnick playing the Pango, and Xani on the Void Spirit for their 3 cores.
Oh, Bloodseeker, you really love to make Pangolier's life miserable. He can't use Rolling Thunder. You need to either stop or you're just dead. Also, Weaver playing on a low HP. Same goes for Treant. At the early stages of the game, and you can see them. You can see them where they are if their HP is low enough.
And you're great at diving towers with the help of Luna and Chantress as well. And the great thing is, like, you know, Xani uses Dissimulate, you put your blood right down, maybe you, like you say, rupture up Funnick, or you rupture up Nyx on these Pango and Weaver heroes who are so reliant on that maneuverability, or you just walk up to an Oracle and, you know, punch him 3 times and he's dead. HellRaisers, again, work cut out for them here in game 2. I think you're leaning OG again, draft-wise?
Yeah, their execution was really on point in the previous game. And I like the Bloodseeker pick. I think it counters a lot of these heroes. You can set up things perfectly. Like, imagine, it's not just about the silence. Some of the spells in Dota are great. In terms of, like, yeah, it's an AoE silence dealing damage, but I'd say, like, Jakiro, Enigma, Bloodseeker's Blood Right, these abilities that they have, like, you choose where you want to fight. Huge area where they can't enter, and this is the strength of these heroes.
Well, let's find out as we get ourselves into game 2 of this best of 3. HellRaisers taking on OG. With the 1-0 so far.
Don't be mad. Don't be
I think that's the primary reason Enchantress is picked for No Tail. Don't be mad.
Well, you know, when something happened like that kill on Slark in the previous game between tier 1 and tier 2 tower when he was chasing Earthshaker, you knew that there's gonna be, like, voice lines used from both him and Seb.
Yep, it was coming. Well, OG yet again setting up for what looks like the tri-lane. Luna, Sumail, No-Tail on the Ench, and Saxa. Earthshaker swinging up to top. But HellRaisers, they are ready and waiting. Setting up a bit of a bait here. Funnick, Miposhka holding high ground, and Saxa will walk into them. Earthshaker, he's got boots up. Poshka biding his time though, they're baiting with Funnick, who does have to swashbuckle away, but in comes the rest of the cavalry. HellRaisers focusing Sumail, but Funnick's about to fall. A couple more hits will do the trick, but Funnick, the final Lucent Beam and click get him, but he's traded for Sumail. 1 for 1, but first blood drawn by No Tail. HellRaisers giving chase onto the Ench and Earthshaker. I don't believe they're going to be able to catch or kill any further targets here. They're trying with another Fortune's End, but a great Fisher block off stops the advance, and HellRaisers held back in their tracks.
So 1 for 1. And Luna died. It doesn't matter that much. Who got the first blood? No Tail got it. He bought something. What is he bringing? Here's some extra set of tangos, a sentry, a clarity.
Yeah, starting off with a Blightstone on Enchantress really tipped the scales, allowing them to get that first blood. And HellRaisers, they really want to be active this game. Hell, they're smoking down towards bottom, so they're not going to tri-lane and match the top lane. They are leaving Funnick there alone. They're trying to tri-lane into the Enigma, it looks like. Roger, Nyx, and Miposhka all down here. Seb, Eidolon's out, pauses the game. He needs a second just to, you know, get his radar out, see if anything's going ping on it.
To check if they're trying to gank him, you know, check the stream. Just kidding, it's delayed. But yeah, I think this is a good decision from HellRaisers to go back to the bottom lane. I would say OG's tri-lane is much stronger. Like having a Fisher, Luna providing aura. I believe OG's fine with this. Like, Seb
I think-
is not the guy who should get to extremely farm this game. So he's just gonna be, you know, denying some of the XP. And if they keep this tri lane, that means that a lot of experience is gonna be shared. But Miposhka, that's a good call. Drag the creep wave, get it closer to tier 1 tower, so that Enigma does not have regeneration and extra armor.
Sure, like you're saying, you know, this tri-lane creep every wave as well. Sharing it between 3 heroes doesn't feel so good. Seb under the tower should be able to gather up a little bit of CS here and there, but Razors moving that creep equilibrium all the way back. Mid lane, mid one, 5-0, very even. Xana tying things up. And here comes the no-tail rotation. 1.5 minutes in, they've already pressured Funnick a decent amount. They've farmed no-tail up close to level 2. And Roger's actually the one taking the brunt of the damage here with that Satyr. With
Good luck.
icons bringing him incredibly low.
He's sitting at 200 HP, which means that Bloodseeker, like, you need to be careful when you're playing against the Bloodseeker. You can't just be on low HP. He does not have a flask to work with. So this gives mid one pretty easy lane. Here he can just right click, has a Blood Right, no points in Blood Rage yet. Probably gonna get that on level 4 to have any kind of a sustain. He's running low on tangos.
And again, Luna has a free lane top. Funnick has cracked level 3. Sax are holding on to that Fissure. But a 1 lane top. Mid lane very even, and bottom lane Sem's getting everything he needs. They try and make a play onto No-Tail. We've seen this one. Early point in heal, just to sustain a little bit longer. But they will be able to bring down the Enchantress at long last. But again, this feels calculated from OG. 2 games in a row now. Very often we see, oh, Nyx, okay, he has the Shikuchi. That thirst still up on him. Dangerous territory for the Weaver. But yeah, again, No-Tail comes down. He puts pressure. He forces spells to be cast on him. He dies, but he respawns. TP's bot lane again. And now you look at Nyx, Miposhka, and Roger. They are low mana. They've been forced to salve up, and they're being pressured again by this, you know, level 2, position 5 Enchantress.
I'm just looking at his item belt. He has 8 tangos. What? I don't know why he brought 6 tangos. He was already having like 3 of them. Maybe he just wants to cut all the trees so Treant can't attack from this side. And Seb can do that, the same thing with the Midnight Pulse. You know that, yeah, you know the Treant is gonna come from the right side only.
Absolutely.
Don't be mad.
Cutting down some trees there. Midnight Pulse. Or maybe you can combine 10 tangos and just insta-kill the Treant. Get a super tango. Destroy Roger with one move.
Just eat him. What if Battle Fury could like cut down Treant?
Just quell the Treant, yeah.
Dire's middle tower is under
I mean, No-Tail right now, he's 1v2ing the supports. This tri-lane from HellRaisers doing absolutely nothing. Seb is 13-8, he's closing in on level 4. Nyx has had to expend like 2
top lane,
salves.
Funnick.
Oh, he's going for Sumail. Oh, he's very close to it. He's got 3 stick charges, but Swashbuckle on cooldown, so he can't go diving in for the kill. In a 1v2, Funnick very nearly down Sumail's Luna.
He could afford to play aggressive as that. 1 point in shield crash, not what you usually see. You only get the point in shield crash when you're playing against Rubik, so that he can't steal your Rolling Thunder. Look how low Funnick is. Mid also low, bottom lane, they're healthy.
That
But
TP
Bloodseeker, yep.
The thirst, the blood right is coming out, and Nyx can't stop. The clicks from mid one is going to chase for more. This is a double kill for OG for sure. Mid one and No-Tail gathering them up. They're going to go for a third. Miposhka, the tri lane is annihilated. HellRaisers didn't see that one coming, and Bounty Runes, it might just be a 4-0 here.
Radiant's middle
Void Spirit, okay, he's going to get 1. But OG should be able to gather up the remaining 3. My goodness. 1 TP rotation from mid one. Now he's level 6. What a great move.
Yeah, meanwhile, Saksa was also collecting some of the XP. He is level 4, which is pretty high for 5 minutes in. And Luna on the top lane having a free time. Like, because of the Bloodseeker, Pangolier was forced to TP out. He understood, man, I'm gonna kill my team because I'm on 20% HP.
HellRaisers still sticking it out down bottom lane though. No Tail is here alone. Enigma going to be walking back to lane slowly but surely. One seems fine mid still. Treant and Oracle. They do make a play onto No Tail. He's got a couple of stick charges, but that Purifying Flames now up to level 2. Burn through the Enchantress. Couple of kills for HR, not too bad, but Enigma's here. Scouted out by the Observer Ward, he's holding Sentry. Courier died. Wait, hang on a second. Is Necro Rush?
Possibly. He just bought a
Sage's mask.
If there's a second, where's the second one? I don't see it.
On his
the courier? Okay.
Oh, here we go. TP down bottom lane again. Seb is blown up as No Tail died by Xani. Mid one's rotation with a Thirst here. Blood right. Oh, it connects with the final click.
Perfect.
Barely. I thought Xani would be out of there. Sax has killed off Funnick top lane. And Weaver with Roger deep in behind any lines here. Not quite sure what to do with themselves. But Bloodseeker, these TPs in to defend this tower. Yes, you lose, you know, an Enchantress or Enigma here or there. But Bloodseeker is accelerating so quickly off the back of these kills.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Necrobook on Enigma. It just feels so good, like Malefice into Necro units.
Oh, the stun into
He's
stun.
dead again.
Weaver's dead! Weaver currently 1, 2, and 3. Nyx is not having a game. Now Seb can have a free lane for a couple of minutes. Bloodseeker's going to start farming Ancients and then finding Roger. They've got a Centaur to maybe catch with a Stomp. The Thirst, it kicks in. They've got them. They've got the Treant. 8-4. This is just a slapping from OG.
It's just falling apart so quickly. Like top lane, Funnick was putting some pressure on Luna. Luna shows up, brings some extra regen in the lane, uses Lucent Beam 2-3 times with the Fisher. Suddenly he's back to no HP at all, and he needs to stay away. It's just too much damage output in the laning stage.
Yeah, it really is. Helm of the Dominator is now, you know, 200 gold away once Sumail finishes off this camp. So they're going to have Helm of the Dominator in less than a minute. Necrobook on Enigma is 700 gold away.
Oh, top lane.
When these guys start grouping up, it's going to be immense. Okay, they catch Sax at top. He's got himself Tranquils, Raindrops, and he's got 200 odd gold on the way to Blink Dagger. Not really too worried about his death there. Hey, have you seen what mid one's buying, by the way? Speaking of item builds.
Hey, it's a great item. Pangolier really hates to play against a root. It stops the TP. The same goes for Void Spirit. Like all
Sumail. They've found Sumail in the jungle. HellRaisers finally getting in there, stopping that Luna from farming away to Helm. Now 40 gold away from it, but she'll have that when she respawns quickly. And yeah, Bloodseeker, Rod of Atos, so the root against Pango. I guess also Void Spirit. Oh, this is nice. Fortune's End onto the Rolling Thunder. Not quite nice enough though. They don't make the full connection. They've got the Spirit onto Saxa, but mid one's arrived. Focusing Funnick, the swashbuckle off. He dives into the trees, but they've got stuns and catch for days. And mid one now unstoppable. 6-0 on this Bloodseeker.
If you know how to play Pangolier, you know how to play against him. I'm not gonna say it's easy to juke, but Rolling Thunder, you can't just make a fast shift, fast turn. Like all these small pieces once again coming together for OG. Lanes were going well. Enigma is level 6, just needs 100 gold to finish the Necrobook, Helm of the Dominator, flying out to Luna, and they're gonna start grouping up.
And this is really where I feel OG are exceptionally good, right? Around that 10-minute mark when outposts and bounty runes are so important, they come in, they take the top one, they'll gather up some bounties, they try and get into the dire jungle a little bit, but it's this top tier one when you're playing Radiant side feels so important right now because it just gives you so much extra map space to play in, and it kind of gives you Roshan, or at least the area around it as well. So then you can start, you know, pivoting into mid-tier 1, you can think about diving into tier 2, you can wrap around and maybe play into the enemy triangle as well between, you know, come between the mid-tier 1 and tier 2 because there's such a wide open space to play into. But first, they've got to take that tower top.
Mid one just dragging the creep wave. He's level 10 minutes in. How happy are you, Gary, that you're not observer this game, like this tournament, so you can just
Ecstatic.
focus?
I'm sure the viewers are very happy as well.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
And they've caught Funnick. Midnight Pulse.
I keep use his ulti on him.
Even gonna rapture. Oh dear. So now that tier 1's gone, OG, they just swing into mid, right? They're TPing Enchantress there. They can bring everyone. I guess Saxa can stay top and maybe farm. I would love to see Seb come through as well.
Seb still has a black hole, but didn't seen it being used so far. Like Weaver goes in,
Dire's top tower.
she's gonna get black holed. And it's such a sick setup. You have Fissure, you have Midnight Pulse, also Blood Ride, so you can choose where you want to fight. Full Road of Aethos, 11 minutes on Bloodseeker.
Gonna be great to
I hope it's not coming to my pubs.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And here's that move.
Dire's middle tower.
Tier 1, now they've got a massive, vast amount of map space. They can come into the triangle, which mid 1 comes to scout out. We'll find Miposhka. He walks past him in the trees. Yeah, there's the ping. Sees the Oracle. Rod of Aethos, Blood Right. Fortune's End will dispel off the root. But Miposhka's still just going to get slain here on his own jungle high ground. OG continues farming top lane towards Blink. And yet again, we see Nyx on this carry, playing opposite side of the map, not joining fights, feeling like he needs to farm to win, but he's been ruptured. Tower still hitting him, the root, the TP, and that is why Bloodseeker's bought him. While top lane, the Echo Slam, to catches two with a Fissure, the chain stuns in the black hole, catches the Void Spirit, so Xani's down, and Roger likely to be following as Funix, Rolling Thunder, does crash into Saxa to get them at least a kill in return, but it's a 2-for-1 with a core and a support for one support, and Funix, he needs a swashbuckle away from this. They've got themselves a Lucent Beam and a Stomp from the Centaur available, but they need that little bit of gap close, they don't have it. So Swashbuckle gives Funix the distance he needed. Still disastrous here for HellRaisers, losing the Weaver bot in a 1v1 and then losing the teamfight top. You're just falling to pieces.
I loved the way Saxa moved. Like, he was going through Black Hole and he baited Pangolier to run into it. Look where Seb is playing. He's just controlling the whole area. Cut down some trees with the Midnight Pulse, farming everything in the enemy jungle.
And I think mid 1 is realizing that this bottom right-hand corner of the map is not where he belongs. He pushed out one extra wave, but he should really be coming back to rejoin the rest of his squad in that mid lane. And a great move from HellRaisers looking to cut him off. They have timed this almost to perfection. The smoke breaks, they've got the vision, the jump onto mid 1. There's the catch. Xani Miposhka bursting down, mid 1 turns with the Blood Right. He's pretty speedy and his one charges are gone. He's got the heal from the Purifying Flames going and he turns with the Rupture and he's spinning out there. HellRaisers don't get the kill.
If you think about Fissure as, I'm just gonna stun people, sometimes it's better to block them off. He blocked away Pangolier, so he can't connect the second Rolling Thunder. And now on the top lane, Luna and Enigma will just take a tower. Also, it would be a lot of gold if they kill the Bloodseeker. He's on 8 kill streak right now.
I mean, you look at these Eidolon and Necro creeps with all these auras. The Eidolons are doing like 70 damage a hit when they're near Luna. Yeah, 47 plus 23. Necro Warrior, 75 plus 37. That's ridiculous amount of damage right now. No-Tail being slapped around by Roger, but I'm not sure if that's really where he wants to be. Xani and Miposhka are here to try and save him, but the Treants just cut down. OG the Lumberjacks, destroying the Amazon forest, tree by tree, and Miposhka's gonna get hunted here by mid 1. Doesn't have a Fortune's End, does have False Promise once the silence ends. It looks like mid 1 not really committing to diving under that tower without the rest of his squad. But it's objective time for OG.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Pressure onto these tier 1s and tier 2s. Oh, okay, No-Tail. Hello? Hello? Don't run off. He's caught him. He's trapped him in the trees. They've got a Centaur Stomp to stop him if he tries to TP, and mid 1's going to be coming with a couple of clicks, and that's it. Miposhka's Oracle down. No-Tail gets that perfect body block, and I don't think Roger can really defend this tower, honestly.
They're playing so fast right now. They managed to get 10k lead.
Seb will get picked off mid lane. So left out in the open,
Dire's bottom tower.
isolated from the rest of the team.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Blessing. There you go.
Overgrowth. Tries to buy Roger a bit of time. Even with that living armor though. Mid one. Oh, does get disarmed up. Good blood right. Going to connect onto a couple of heroes here, but the Rolling Thunder and the chain stun from that Remnant. Roger still drops through the false promise, but mid one's monster kill streak. Picked up by Nyx, so plenty of bonus gold there for your Weaver, grabbing up a good 500 odd.
And it's very important that Weaver got that gold. She's gonna finish off the Fusel Blade. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Earthshaker just finished his Blink Dagger. So OG's gonna continue with the pressure. Enigma also getting a Blink Dagger in 100 gold. So I expect a team fight into Roche from OG. They just need those 2 Blink Daggers to be ready. Man, mid one's going for Aghanim Scepter.
But like, here's the problem, right? 11,000 net worth lead at 16 minutes. All of these options for OG. And then you look at the dire side. Nyx has a Diffusal Blade on Weaver. Roger is trying to build Necrobook himself. Oracle has sweet fuck all. He has got Windlace, and that's all we'll talk about. The Void Spirit's trying to go into Yule Scepter, but still pretty distant from it. And Pango, anything, Arcane's looking for Blade Mail, so no lands there. He's coming in for Funnick as they do make a jump towards No-Tail in the Roche Pit. Sumail's there, but the Eidolon's cleared up now. Xani gets a good Astral catch onto mid one as the Rolling Thunder into the back lines. Looks like Earthshaker being focused. Sax's Blink Echo still being held. So OG, they lose nothing. HellRaisers expend a couple of ultis. And the chase is still on to Roger.
Oh, it's on.
Go straight back in the pit. They've got No-Tail. Cool. Nyx has killed off the Enchantress, but oh, Miposhka, quick Fortune's End. Get away from mid one. The Lucent Beam and the chase up the hill. Mid one's so speedy. Miposhka, he's got a couple of seconds until false promise. He edicts up the Bloodseeker, stops him from attacking, but that Lucent Beam from Sumail, long range artillery. As OG get a couple of kills, a courier falls in the midst of it all, and Saxa still waiting for that Blink Echo. Nyx is hunting for him. They black hole up Funnick. The Pangolier is down. HellRaisers just getting just tickled to death, little by little.
Silence is golden. Good decision from OG. They decided to get out of the pit, take a fight, and now they picked it up. Even though they expand first Black Hole just to kill Funnick. You know things are not going well for your Pangolier when he has 2 bracers. It's a correct choice of the items. Like, he needs to be able to tank up, survive as much as he can. Xani. There's the Road of Athos.
And he's ruptured up as well. Fisher into Blink Echo. Saxa lines it up for the kill on Void Spirit. He's got the Resonant Pulse, so that makes him a little tankier than OG were expecting. So a couple of ultis there from OG, not netting the many kills. As Enchantress went a little bit deep for that one. No-Tail playing almost in the dire base.
They're not on the same page. Feels like mid one didn't expect that Saxa's gonna blink in and use Echo Slam. But still, it doesn't matter that much. Funnick in a good spot, but doesn't have Rolling Thunder.
Trying to focus down mid one. They break all the trees around him, and another great Fisher with the Eclipse. Sumail dominating now. Luna makes short work of that poor Void Spirit, and Roger will follow him into the grave. This is going to be a pretty simple tier 2. They've got Aegis still up for another, what, 3 minutes more on this Luna?
3.5 minutes.
Does your Roshan respawn timer look weird? Is it bugged?
Not at all. It says
interesting.
Roche may respawn in the 6:26.
Yeah, I've got them. Yeah, mine says 6:22, but the text is really, really small for some reason. It's like size 2 font.
Still in beta.
Don't be mad.
Stuff happening. What do they need to do? How do they get out of the rut they're in right now?
Weaver has a decent amount of farm, but I don't think it's enough. You're still very vulnerable. Pre-BKB. Aghanim Scepter. Finish. He's just utility on this Bloodseeker. You don't need any kind of damage. Second Rupture plus Road of Athos. Like, Luna will be the one who's dealing damage and clearing out the buildings.
Attracts its own kind.
Die.
It's just beautiful to watch, Gary. The way they played Dota.
It's just so crisp. OG, very clean execution. Like Xani there, he's in a decent position for a Void Spirit to maybe cut a wave or something. But OG catches a glimpse of him and immediately they're just like this with Funnick. He gets ruptured up, he's gonna get silenced by Blood Right, the dive is there, but they force the false promise. So Funnick now will have to return to Fountain and you still lose your tier 3. And Luna is still on the front lines with Blood Rage on, destroying your buildings. The structural annihilation of HellRaisers base right now. 21 minutes in, OG with a substantial net worth lead. Looking for Roger, even deep inside his base there. Tries to heal himself up. Doesn't even get the overgrowth off. A backstab from Xani, focusing down the Earthshaker, but he's got chain stuns for days and still has that Blink Echo if need be. This is a big Blink Echo if he wants it. The Black Hole cancelled by that Rolling Thunder, but they've got the Yules up with the Rupture in onto Xani now. Where's Saxa? There he is. Hello, doing buddy. The Blink Echo destroys them. Oh, HellRaisers, this is it. You can't hold on, and GG's called. Roger taps out. Cool.
Sab got the perfect black hole in the end, 3-man, but Rolling Thunder just clipped him. One of the shortest black holes in the histories, besides your own ones, chat, where you use it and then you cancel it, or you use BKB after.